Greetings from my car at the train station, just waiting for another train. It's not even 5:30 in the morning. It's cold as hell outside. Temperature is about 11 degrees, and I'm freezing and waiting to go to a job that's decent, but one I'd rather not go to. I'm sure I'm doing the same thing as many people nowadays do over and over again. Except some people are going to horrible jobs. Some people depend on them to the point where if they don't go, they'll be homeless or their families will go broke. So they live lives of quiet desperation, which I think is the worst thing possible. I myself have been trying to find ways to do a different type of work, trying to do some YouTube videos and perhaps get monetized and some podcasts and many different things. But you don't make much money with those until you made it. It's sort of like being an actor or a singer or something where you can't make a living until you just get big all of a sudden with very little in between. And that's what I think this world has become, this economy in the United States, where everybody in the whole country is poor and they can't make it until they make it big. Housing costs too much. Insurance costs too much. Healthcare costs too much. Everything costs too much for the average person to live until they make it big and have at least a little bit of an abundance, a little more than they need, or a lot more. Question is, what can we do about this? There's always been things that people can do about it, but a lot of people just aren't interested. So I sit out here in the car, looking out the window. I see some cars that have been parked here a few days with ice all over them, and there's snow here. The weather's strange. It hasn't been above freezing for about a week or two, which is new for this part of the country. I say it was normal like 20 or 30 years ago, but this is 2025. The people that we have in the White House show us that it's 2025. Because 20 or 30 years ago, there's no way we would have had such people in the White House. So here we are, running backwards, losing all the progress that it took us more than 200 years to make, even as we are cutting off our noses to spite our face, destroying all the allies that we have all around the world, even on our own continent this time. It wasn't enough to be antagonistic to people in South America, you see, or antagonistic to people on the Isle of Puerto Rico, or the people in Russia or in Asia. Now we have to be antagonistic to people on our own continent. And aside from that, we are even antagonistic to people in our own country. I'm afraid that it's over for the United States. Yes, we can work through our differences. We can survive as a people, but we will never be the great nation that we once were, because that nation was not based on might and power. It was based on a shared dream. And that shared dream was liberty and justice for all people. And you knew that even if you didn't have liberty and justice, you would get it one day. That's no longer the case. People don't care about liberty. People don't care about justice. People don't care about democracy. Even as they talk about democracy, they're getting millions and millions and millions of dollars from corporations. And the ones with good intentions are getting blocked by the ones with bad intentions, the ones who come straight out of the corporate office and go into the government in order to manipulate the government. There's no wall between the two, no separation between the two. And as the Nazi in Italy said, Mussolini, corporatization of the government is what he spoke of as being fascism. And that's where we are. We've been there for a while. It's been a very slow, gradual build. But when we got people in charge of the Supreme Court who cared more about themselves and their fanatical ideas about the coming of the end of the world, when that happened, all bets were off and we were lost. And so I guess what I'm saying is, what was leading us to the land of the free and the home of the brave and liberty and justice for all, what was leading us to the American dream was character and morality in our leaders, and even the ones that we disagreed with. Many of the times, not all of the times, but many of the times, at least had character and morality and were working for the best of the country. Now they're working for the best of themselves. And as a result of it, our nation is dying, spending more money than the next 10 nations on weapons to go to other countries and oppress them. Not weapons to defend ourselves, no, but weapons to go and prod and start chaos and wars, and spending money to undermine democratically elected governments who are working in order to create peace and harmony in their nations. That is what we've been doing since the late 40s. It's been increasing more since then. It's out of control now. All of us see it now because of social media. What is the answer of the government? Cancel all the social media that allows the truth to be told. Let the far right and religious fanatics, ones who claim Christianity but who hate Jesus, let them have sources of social media and TV stations and radio stations, but block out anything that opposes them. Anything where people don't have enough money to have freedom of speech. What a farce that is. Freedom of speech for sale. Thanks for being with us at this channel. Hit the bell, subscribe, leave a comment, and have fun. Because I am. Namaste, folks.